Top 5 Thursday. My best friend, Chris Weimer, is here. We're doing top 5 sports fan bases.
Yes.
So, Chris, great to see you. What
Great to
um what was your criteria for this? This is kind of like very very subjective, but
yeah.
what were you thinking when you came up with yours?
Well, first of all, this was the perfect. I'm a diehard New York fan, so this was the perfect topic to get some digs in against Boston. But to step back from that, passion from fans, success. But what I also put into consideration was not seeing some success and how the fan base stuck through with teams like that, and I added that into a couple of my cities.
Yeah, I have not insufferable. They have to be really hardcore. They can't have any bad incidents like beating people up in the parking lot or anything like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
best, not most passionate, but best. Okay, all right.
yeah. So you are the guest. What is your number 5?
My number 5 is Pittsburgh. That's sort of it's out there. I had to do it. I lived in Pittsburgh for a time. I've seen those hockey fans, and I know those Steelers fans. They're some of the most passionate people about those two teams. They had some runs with Pittsburgh, the Pirates. That's kind of where I put them at 5, and I could see them not making 5 just because they're a baseball team and the fans. But that park is something else, and those fans show up at it.
I agree. Pirates fans, they were really awesome back in the day. They kind of just drifted off and they're like really quiet now. But Yinzers and the Steelers fans, I think they really carry the torch now.
I think absolutely. They absolutely do. What do you got?
Number 5, I have Cleveland. Cleveland and Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
They've put up with a lot of losing.
A
They've
lot.
dealt with a lot.
Okay, they've also had football teams leave.
They have several times. The
Was
Browns, I
that
think, have left twice.
No, I had Cleveland as sort of a candidate as well. That's what sort of put me out for Cleveland was seeing some sports teams leave.
I
And
would have
with
put them.
that they're hurt from LeBron. I don't know.
Ripped their hearts out
Yeah, that's true.
twice.
You're right.
Twice.
You're right.
I would have put them higher, but the Browns fans, they got a little cocky a couple off seasons ago. They got Odell, Baker's coming off a great year, and they're all a little too gabby. So, and then once they came back down to earth, it was not great.
Well, I like your pick.
What's your number 4?
All right, 4, and this is where you get just my list is going to get big metro, and I almost hate that. But number 4 is Chicago. You got to deal with the Cubs and their lack of success over the years. But I think when you add that Chicago White Sox, Chicago Cubs rivalry and the passion of different parts of the cities, you got the Bears who have just been heartbreakers for a long, long time now. I think the Cubs or Chicago fans absolutely deserve to be on the list.
I agree. They're really passionate about their teams, especially with all the Cubbies losing for like 100 whatever years. They're still packing Wrigley and they're still showing up for day games. So I think that really has to play into it.
Absolutely.
My number 4 pick, I'm going a little off the beaten track here. I'm going college. I'm going LSU.
Okay. I didn't know college was in there. I thought about college too. I left it out, but I love that pick.
It's a
They
great
got
college town.
Yep.
Like Coach O,
Yeah, Ray Baker. Yep.
Ray Ray Baker out there getting his steps in there every day.
Yeah.
You'll never hear a bad thing about LSU fans. Alabama fans are really obnoxious and they shout "Roll Tide" all the time. LSU, they love to have a good time. If they're down there in the bayou, they love Coach O and they support their guys. So
I totally agree. I went to school in the South. I was around all the SEC fans you can imagine. You got the Bulldogs, you got the Gamecocks, you got all those the fans. And LSU, we had a couple in our class, and they were just as passionate, and I really liked them a lot. I like that call. And this was before LSU really boomed in recent years as well. So this was 20 years ago.
right. Yeah, no, I love, ever since Part of My Take got me hooked on Coach O, I'll ride or die with that guy for life.
I'm right there with you, Justin. All right,
What's number 3?
number 3 is Boston. I wanna make a preface. I am super biased because I'm a New York fan. I could put Boston at 2. Being able to put them at 3 felt pretty good. It felt pretty good to just sort of put the knife, twist it a little bit. Boston, and another part of that factor is they have had nothing but success lately across all their sports teams. They have been spoiled in the past 20 years. So how could you not be a Boston fan right now, whether it be the Patriots, Bruins? I mean, Celtics, I'll give you, but even the Celtics had some runs there. So I think it's a little too easy to be a Boston fan right now. That's why I brought them down to 3.
Yeah, I just think the last 20 years, they really haven't had to deal with much heartbreak. So they really, like, it's so easy to call yourself a Boston fan now. I get back in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't all that great. But now I just think people are bandwagony and, the Red Sox and the Pats. And now that Tom Brady left, though, kind of leveled the playing field a little bit.
We'll be interested to see. I've seen mixed reviews. People are just furious with Tom Brady. I don't know how you could be a New England fan and mad at Tom Brady for doing what he's doing. That's neither here nor there. I'm not biased about that part of it. But I was there. I grew up in northern Maine, or more in Maine, I should say, when New England was nothing. And you know what? You didn't hear a lot of Pats fans. They were there, but boy, you didn't hear them. So I've seen the bandwagon. I know all about that.
Yeah. I forgot you're a Maine guy. So yeah, I kind of figured you would throw a little Boston in there. Don't you call them mass holes, though? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, Maine and Massachusetts, we do not like each other. They drive absolute mass holes. Yeah. They call us maniacs. So it's okay.
Maniacs? I've never heard that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great little rivalry. All right. I got a city in the heartland. I got a theme going. I'm going Midwest nice. I'm going St. Louis.
Oh. Okay.
They got Cardinals and Blues. The Blues, like, if you're a Blues fan up until a couple years ago when they won the Stanley Cup, they didn't really have much. But then they won the Cup. I was right there with them. I love that series against Boston. And then Cardinals fans. Cardinals fans, I think, are the best in baseball. Can we agree?
Yeah. I think they're passionate. They're great fans. They've always been with their team. I can't argue your pick with St. Louis. Again, I just go back to the losing a football team. That sort of thing in my criteria. But I can't disagree with you at all. And the Blues fans are great too.
Yeah, like, you never hear anything bad about them. I think Cardinals fans are the most knowledgeable fans in baseball. That's what I've always heard. And also, Busch Stadium is always top 5 in attendance, even though St. Louis only has like 300,000 people in it.
That is impressive. You got the stats on me. I don't have the stats.
Yeah, no, it's not a great city, just in general, from what I've heard, but the sports fans and just everything else is awesome.
Yeah, I've heard the same about the city. They got the arch. They got nothing else. It's not too pretty, not too great. But, hey, we're not talking about that, are we? We're talking about sports fans.
Sports fans.
Yeah.
I'm excited. What's your number 2?
Number 2, and this actually pains me, but I've got some close friends, people as well, but I got to give it to Philadelphia. I mean, those guys are absolutely loyal as can be. Their teams are always, their teams have had some struggles. I mean, I loved watching the Eagles struggle for the time they've struggled, but they had. But when you get to know a Philadelphia fan, you want to hate them, but you can't. You can only respect the passion they have for all of their teams. I think that's a big deal when you see. I mean, they're loyal to all their teams.
They embrace, like, how crappy they are. Like, they embrace the trashness, the Philly trashness. I think that's a term of endearment now. Because you're right, you saw it after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Like, the city of Philadelphia was basically imploding, but it was awesome. They were eating horse crap, climbing like poles. Like, they were having a good time, and I felt really, really good for them. So I didn't have them on my list, but I can see how you had them on yours.
You like to go a little out there. You sort of shock people with your list, don't you?
I do, because I'm not a mainstream guy. I want to be out there. It's a lot of Midwest nice on mine. That's my theme for today, and I have another Midwest team at number 2. You ready?
Yeah.
Green Bay. Green Bay Packers fans, go Pack, go!
All they got is that, though.
That's it.
Okay.
I think
You didn't consider all the different sports. You're just looking. You really concentrate on the city and the sports fan.
I think so, because the city of Green Bay, like, the capacity of Lambeau is more than the total population of the city of Green Bay, I think. So, like, I did a little stats digging. The season ticket waiting list has 137,000 names on it, and 99% of the current season ticket holders are going to renew for next year. So you're only fighting for 1%.
You're not going to get it.
Very classy, very respectful. They love their cheeseheads, and they support their guys like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and it's a storied franchise. It really is a storied franchise. And who owns the Green Bay Packers?
The fans.
There you go. I think I got to give it to you there.
Yeah, we should split a $500 whatever ownership stake of the Green Bay
Yeah,
Packers. That way you and I could be owners.
I would be down with that for sure.
Get a piece of paper. For that
Yeah.
means nothing. It means absolutely nothing.
Yep, nothing.
This is all right. This is cool. So we got number one. This is rarefied air. What is your pick?
I mean, I feel like everybody's going to see it coming at this point, but New York. I don't know how you keep New York out of there. By the way, before I explain with New York, Los Angeles was something that, people talk about. You see it. They deserve no part of the top five, in my opinion. They don't even deserve to be close. I don't care the size of their city. That's that. But New York, I mean, you take New York, you take Boston, you take Philadelphia. Wherever you're from, you're going to put them at number one. I think these three cities are by far the top three cities. The rest sort of fall behind. Me being a New York guy, my family from New York, I had to go with New York.
I like that pick. They're very passionate. They love their Knicks still. They do like to complain about the Knicks, but they are still Knick fans.
Yep.
Giants and Jets and Mets and Yanks. Yeah, I can see how. And you brought up a good point about LA. Those fans are fair weather. They mean nothing.
Yeah, they're just looking. They're trying to wine and dine whatever clients they're trying to go to a sport. I mean, it's not about the sport, in my opinion.
They got two football teams, and they don't care about them.
Don't care. Yep.
So, excellent point. I have my number one pick. It's in the state of New York. It's not New York City.
You're gonna go there. All right, go ahead.
Buffalo, man, Buffalo. Like, Bills Mafia is my favorite thing. I cannot wait until the winter time for football season, because when it's snowing up there at New Era Field in Buffalo at Orchard Park, like, you see the crazy people come out. They throw everybody through tables. Like, they spray a guy in the parking lot with ketchup and mustard. That's a thing.
Yep.
They just show up regardless. Their team has never been great.
Yeah. They put their bodies on the line every Sunday,
Yeah, and I'm not even going to count the Sabres. I don't even consider them. They're not in this conversation.
They didn't even need to factor into your number one. Wow. So they want to slide then.
No, it's just the Bills. Bills Mafia, no matter how cold, Zubaz pants, starter jackets, that's Bills Mafia.
You don't think it's getting old? I'm getting a little tired of Mafia. You love it. Your people love it. I get it. It's getting a little old, this table stuff for me. I'm ready for a new thing.
Really? It's kind of worn thin on you?
Yeah, it's worn thin. It's because you know what? I bet you I think there's people that are just about that, the viral videos getting on there. I even question some of those fans now. I think it's people are just globbing on to the Bills Mafia. I'm willing to bet it's not as pure as it once was.
Wow. Division inside of the halls of Bills Mafia. I had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, what do you got? You got fair weather fans. You got people that just jump on. I think it's happening with Bills Mafia right now. I think they've become too big. It's corporate now. It really is.
The suits have come in, and they have taken over the once awesome Bills Mafia.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. I was not expecting that. Oh, I love them. Yeah, I like the gender reveal tables. I like just your run of the mill tables. I'm a table guy.
Yeah, the guy that almost breaks his neck type tables. Yeah, I get you.
Jumping off the RV onto the table, lighting the table on fire.
Yeah, and you don't even, if you just being out there in that cold is one thing. You know what I mean? I don't know if people have lived in cold, but that in and of itself. But I mean, then to put your body on the line like that, yeah, you got to respect it.